Hey guys and gals. Hey, just wanted to do a quick little video on a little issue I ran into and did a little bit of testing. And I discovered something that I wasn't even sure was a thing, but I just thought I'd make a little video in case you run into these issues on your travel. So here is my kind of power setup with my dog bones and whatnot. You have your standard 30 amp to 110 outlet connection that pretty much everybody has. However, this camper is a 50 amp, so then you need some step downs here from a 50 male to a 30, or 50 female to a 30 male here. Here's my power watchdog. So my previous ones, I've had a hardwired EMS by Progressive Industries, but I decided to try this power watchdog out, mainly because I didn't feel like hardwiring a new one in. I looked at routing and where to place it in this camper, and nothing was really kind of jumping out at me as a good option. So I decided to go with this power watchdog, which is a pretty cool setup. You connect Bluetooth via an app. You can kind of monitor all the voltage real time, which is really nice. This face lights up at night to let you know in white if everything's good, and if there's something wrong, it glows red. Then of course it gives you an error readout, and then they give you the errors right on the side. But what this is about is we have two ACs in here. We have a 15K BTU, then a 12K Ultra Slim in the bedroom up there. And we're on a 30 amp connection, and we know you really shouldn't use both of them unless you have soft start or whatever, which we don't. But I had this dog bone, and this one was actually purchased from a store called Menards, Midwest store. Many of you probably have heard of it. If you're on the east or west coast, you may not have, but it's just kind of a standard RV adapter. I bought it when I was there as an extra, and I'm like, you know what? They all are the same, right? More on that in a second. This is a neat feature. I'd recommend getting one of these. I got it on Amazon. Obviously just plugs right into your 50 and goes right to an extension cord. So if you're loading and you just want some power on without needing to run air conditioner or anything, that thing works fantastic. So you don't have to get your big old heavy 50 amp cord out. They have an adapter for 30 amp as well. So either way, it's great just to plug in that right into the camper and then that into your extension cord. So here's where the issue was. We were plugged in, I was using this and this, and this was telling me I had a line 2 voltage error on my camper. Now, for those of you who don't know, 50 amp line basically has two hots coming in, a black and a red wire, and a 30 amp basically just has one hot coming in, both 120 volts on the black and red and 120 volts on the black on a 30 amp. So the black and the red is what allows you the extra juice to run two air conditioners, for example, because now it's pulling 220 volt legs off of the power source. So one side, which is separated in your breaker panel, so basically half the breakers or however they have it set up are being fed off some of the hot leg, and then in my case, my one breaker for this air conditioner is fed off of, where are you? There you are. That air conditioner is fed off of one of the hot legs, and then the 20 amp breaker that feeds the bedroom unit is on the other hot leg. So what the 30 amp adapter does is basically takes the input from the 50 and combines both of those into one single hot leg. So on here it views it as two hot legs at 120 volt, but you're still capped at your amps. You're 30 amp or less. So just because it's showing two hot legs is available doesn't mean you can still run two air conditioners safely. You may be able to have enough amps. I doubt it though, because, well, you might, but with nothing else on, nothing else, we don't have microwave running or fridge pulling off power or TVs or anything like that. But this 15K plugged in pulls about 13 or 14 amps, and the 12K up there, pulls about 10 or 12 amps running. So you say simple math, that's less than 30. Well, again, I don't have anything else running right now. So add all that together and you can easily overheat it or pop something. Anyway, the problem was I was using this guy and it was giving me a hot leg error. So of the 50 amp, mind you, it's 30 amp coming in, it was only reading one of those hot legs. So it wouldn't allow the breaker to power that air conditioner to even turn on. So this guy was only taking one of the hot legs and sending it through to here. Whereas they're supposed to be interconnected and then, or not interconnected, but the hot leg comes in from here, goes in here, and then it's subdivided or pigtailed into both of these. So when this is plugged in, it thinks it's getting a hot leg on each one of those. Well, for some reason, one of these must be dead or fake or something because it wasn't reading that. So I was actually posting on one of the Facebook groups, and they mentioned, you know, double check that something isn't going right. Your power connection. Well, I know it's not the power connection because everything tests out there fine at 120 volts when I stick the meter on the terminals there. So then I thought, well, there's no way this dogbone would be faulty, would it? I mean, it's basically brand new. So I was at Camping World picking up some other odds and ends since we have one local here and it's convenient. Say what you will, but ours locally in Cedar Falls, Iowa has always been really good staff. I've purchased a few rigs there, but not going to go into that. So I went ahead and bought this since I was there. I thought, you know, I would just test it. Worst case, I can return it if something else is still up. Well, anyway, I tested it. So here's a screenshot of my watchdog using this guy. And you can see how it doesn't have the line voltage at 120. And then I swapped it and I put in this guy. And now look at what it says. So this is a long video to basically say nothing more than, well, here's my power setup. But also, these are all created equal. For some reason, this cheaper one at Menards, which is probably about 15 or 20 bucks, compared to this $30 one, for whatever reason, this wasn't pigtailing off and sending two hot feeds so that this would pick it up from a 50 amp conversion. This one was working fine, as you can see on the watchdog readout. I even went in and fired up both air conditioners separately, mind you, and they both kicked on independently when I did it. Whereas when I had this one, it wouldn't even turn on the bedroom unit. Now I had power to my camper. I just didn't have power feeding that leg on the panel, and any breaker that was getting power from that leg was dead, basically, which I believe was only my air conditioner in the bedroom. So anyway, guys and gals, I just want to make a quick little video on this issue I discovered. Having done this for many years, you still are learning every day, I feel like. So I just wanted to let you know that's what was going on with me, in case you have a similar thing, and hopefully it's helpful. Thanks. Like and subscribe, please.